What's up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor. I'm going to be looking at a couple hated companies, or doing air quotes, some evil companies that people feel that they wouldn't put their bottom dollar into. First and foremost, we're just going to do a quick overview of the S&P 500, what happened this week, because it was pretty significant on the potential of what happened the week prior, where we kind of were trending slightly down. Again, the purple line, which is the 8 EMA, crossed over the yellow, which is the 21 EMA, and it continued heading lower. Beginning of the week, we started out fairly strong. The purple line, or the pink line, was beginning to even out and have the potential of kicking above the 21, which will actually end up happening on this Monday, and it kind of just drove higher. So this is a fairly bullish sign moving forward here. We could consolidate up here. Then we have a lot of overhead resistance coming up here around the 3,030 level up here, which is, we've tapped it once. I want to call it twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how, if you want to round a little bit for a small margin of error. So we basically touched it 3 times, so we could potentially go higher and so forth. We'll definitely like to see that on Monday. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of the evil companies. Alright, going in no particular order, we're going to be looking at Nestle. A lot of people are up in arms about Nestle's practices of the cause the environment and all the different various regulations and things they kind of fandangle and break. But overall on this chart, we're just going to be looking at the pure chart. You can see on the Reddit / wallstreetbets and Reddit, I believe it's investing, multiple people found that this is they wouldn't put their money into this company, which honestly right now is probably not a good idea, because they're seeing the high of like 114.87 here, and then it climbed down almost down $10 from its original high. This could be a trend change, which you see here on the shorter term chart. This is the daily chart. This has been a heck of a rocket ship from $80 to 114. Nestle owns some companies that I didn't even know about, honestly. They bought Blue Bottle Coffee, which I was a huge fan when I went to LA. It was great, delicious coffee. On a weekly chart, this is monthly. Let's go to weekly. It's breaking trend. It closed below the 21, so this could be a significant trend change. They just started to push out Beyond Meat in the grocery stores. I think this is what happened here. This little hype up from basically the beginning of the year to now was the IPO, or the release maybe of the Beyond Meat, or the competition with Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat is his own publicly traded company, which is kind of seeing the same trend, slightly lower. But Nestle has a much more defined, versed stocks here than a lot of other companies. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump to the next one. This is going to be looking at actually 2 different individual stocks. They're kind of the 2 bigger groups, but they're within the for-profit prison system. A lot of people found that they used a lot of practices that weren't the most efficient, abusing tax dollars, which, let's be honest, that happens quite often here. And this chart of Corsive Inc., or CXW, here is the ticker symbol. This is definitely a chart that I do not want to touch. This is crazy up, crazy downs. I really don't want to be touching this. I want to look here on a weekly chart. Yeah, it's literally almost on its low at $12.99 down here. Again, that's a one messy chart here. Like, yikes. Let's look. I want to look at, yeah, they're lower. This is the Kelter channels. This is 3 deviations almost away from the median, and you can kind of see here when the stocks usually go out from that, they usually will bounce back sharply. So you see here, this is this right here probably broke out. This is probably when Trump was elected here. A lot of these prison stocks took a huge pop off. So we have the CXW, and then we have another one which is GEO, the GEO group. Yeah, again here, same time period, went from literally $30 to $15 to $50, and then has been climbing sideways on the weekly chart here for the past 2 years, just bouncing around in between 28 and like $16. So, and it's slightly trending down. You can kind of see this chart going to the lower right hand side. If you want something to invest in, you want it to go up and to the right, unless you are short, which honestly this is still a very jeopardized play, because you never know what can be said. So I definitely agree. I would be staying away from these prison stocks, and I wouldn't put any money into that. I wouldn't put my own money into that. That is, yeah. Next up, we have Facebook, which it took quite some time, and a lot of people did mention this as well in the Wall Street Bets and the investing discussions within Reddit, showing that a lot of the tech companies like the Google and the Facebooks kind of got dinged due to privacy issues, manipulating of user data and selling it, and not being a good Samaritan in the sense of your privacy and things like that. And so forth. So again, Facebook, I like to keep an eye on the 200 here. So this is the T line is a 200. It has bounced off here a number of times. You see here, here, and kind of here. But we've had a steep sell-off just the other day. I wonder if that would happen. But you do see it did hold the 21. So that is quite significant in its fact there. That let's go take on a longer time frame, a weekly, nothing looking too hot. Earnings are coming up for it. Like to see what happens there. It could be a pretty big move, because we've traded in around this level 185 quite some time. I've had big news come out between earnings there, earnings coming into here, and then of course that big earnings of late last year that just dropped the stock to literally like 121, way back then. It's made a huge decline. That being said, it just looks like it's consolidating to me. I'm not a fan of the Facebook group. I understand what they're doing and the space that they're in. It's just I definitely agree with a lot of the when you sign up for the Instagram or the Facebook, definitely be careful what you post, and things like that. It's gonna get out, or different various negative aspects of what they do with your data and what you give them. Yeah, so let's go ahead on to another one. All right, this is one of on my list that has one of the most companies that I would love to have shorted, been a part of, and been following for years actually. There's a great documentary that what is that guy's name? Oh lordy, I gotta find that real fast. Oh, Betting on Zero. It's basically Bill Ackman. So Bill Ackman, hedge fund guy, huge hedge fund guy actually, made it very public that the Herbalife philosophy, the way they game the system, is very much like a pyramid scheme. So a pyramid scheme is basically in the sense of you're one person, you have 3 people sign up, those 3 people sign up their own 3 people, and it just kind of spreads like a spider web, like a pyramid on the way down. So you're on the very top, so it's basically the people on the very top get all the money, and the people on the bottom keep on doing the work, and you just kind of defer the work to the next people and try to get people signed up in the illusion of actually selling goods that are so highly priced. It's very deceiving to a lot of people who try to make they kind of spin it off as making your own business and things like that, and it's very scammy. They have been sued. I haven't read too much about this, but this is a Hello Kitty of a drop here, from $60 down to $30 almost here. This is looking at basically nearly get the stock cut in half. Looks like a couple bad earnings here. This constantly just made the stock drop. Wow, that's a heck of a run. I remember, I think the movie came out in 2016. So yeah, that's right about here. It's been kind of been trading sideways, and then 2018 getting a huge kick of momentum. And definitely, this is definitely a company I would not want to put any money into. Would be a wonderful stock if the potential comes up back to the 200 EMA that I want to actually put an alert on. So we're going to create an alert, and if it goes above this price, we're going to create an alert, and I'll get dinged on that. So that is something I actually want to pay attention to. Definitely appreciate the people who posted up on Reddit as well. Let's go to the very last one. Alright, we're going to look at the last but not least. We're going to look at Philip Morris, which is basically known for cigarettes, and multiple people within Reddit posted about it killing people, and a lot of things do kill people too, but for some reason people really didn't want to put any money into a cigarette company, which I honestly agree, it's not a healthy thing to do. But if you look here, it pays a crazy dividend, which I think that's why people were trying to ping it as in here. So let's go to like a daily. Here we go. You get $1.15. The stock's like $70. That's a huge high yield. So I can see why people are buying it, but it doesn't matter when it's trading up here at $100 one day, and then a horrible earnings comes out, and it's a week later it's at $80. And even though if you had a couple shares of it, you're only getting $1. You still lost. You didn't sell it, I understand that, but you still had a significant 20% decline in the stock here, and then huge. You can see the trend here. Like I don't like to draw lines, but let's just draw lines here. So we can see here, these are the tippy tops. These are just not the most generic lines, but look at, like, this is just pretty severe here. We're just gonna go whoop, draw this line, boom, like, oh, come on, and boom. See here, which way is that pointing? Down. So if I was a betting man, which I don't like to bet, I like more of trends and so forth. If this came up, let's look on this line. I like this overweight. Like, that's crazy. This is zoom down. So this is the 200. If this came up to here, I would be looking to probably short it, and vice versa. If it was hitting down this line, probably to buy it. Again, I don't want to play this, honestly. It's against my philosophy of cigarettes and smoking. Is this terrible for you? Cancer, death, and all that. Definitely agree. But if you wanted to look at it just on the analytical, most basic looking at, it's too many swings. There's no way to, it just swings with whatever press or news comes out. You can definitely tell. It's just way too much ups and downs, and it's not a nice trend. It does have a huge yield, but that yield's not going to matter when you can lose $10 in like a month or something like that. But yeah, that's my overall analysis of some of the most hated / evil companies that people posted on Reddit. If you want to support the channel, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know on any other stocks you want me to look at, analyze, or companies. Definitely don't forget to subscribe, and if you don't mind hitting that like button. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor signing off. Peace.